just got back from a 16-day Griswold family vacation across the UK.
Hey, look, kids, there's Big Ben and there's Parliament.
As a first-time visitor from the US, let me share a few things that stood out to me as different from the US. How about something everyone from the US would think of when you say, what's weird in the UK? Driving. I rented a car in London and I drove across the whole island to some awesome spots. Windsor Castle, to Stonehenge, to the Jurassic Coast, to Bath, through the Cotswolds, up to York, up the coast, and to the holy island of Lindisfarne, up to Edinburgh, and to the Highlands of Scotland. So I drove a lot. Like most people, I thought driving on the left side, or the wrong side, would be really hard. But my wife and I were able to get used to it pretty quickly. The thing that was really different with driving was how narrow the lanes are. There were never any berms. You just had this narrow little lane and then a concrete curb with a big hedge of, bushes or trees or stone wall. So you're like brushing up against this wall, trying not to hit oncoming vehicles. Naturally, as an American, I rented, the biggest car I could get. It was like a compact SUV. So all of that kept things pretty dicey. Number 14. And then there are the roundabouts. This I kind of hated and loved. Roundabouts are becoming more popular in the USA, so I'm used to them, but they're used sparingly. In the UK, they're at every bloody intersection, which makes following Google Maps a total pain in the butt, because instead of it telling you to drive 40 miles and then turn left onto the next road, it tells you to drive 2 miles and then take exit number 2 or 3 from the roundabout and then drive another 2 miles and take exit 2 or 3 from the roundabout. It tells you that about 20 times and you never have a good idea of where you're actually headed. It might sound silly, but trust me, it's a real pain to follow or to get a sense of the route when you're the one behind the wheel. What I like about them is it keeps traffic flowing pretty well and pretty safely, and it eliminates stop signs. I mean, seriously, I don't think I saw one stop sign during my whole trip. Just give way, which is their version of our yield signs. Number 15. All right, speed limits. Cameras are everywhere on the roads, and they say average speed camera. So it doesn't matter if you accidentally get going too fast, as long as you slow down a bit to make up for it before you get to the next speed camera. Now, I don't like to be recorded constantly, so I didn't like the cameras everywhere. And I know that in the US, they're putting up cameras everywhere. It's like a surveillance state. But, when you're driving, you're constantly being reminded this camera's watching you. So that was different from the US. Number 16. Now for the speed limits, it seems like they've got a simpler system over there, and I really liked it. In the US, it might be, this is 20 miles per hour, and now this is 25, and there might be a 30 thrown in there, and a 35, and there's a 45, and there's 50 miles per hour, and 55, and 60, 65, 70. There are speed limits like at every 5 increments. It's kind of silly. In the UK, they had 30 miles per hour, 60 miles per hour, and 70 miles per hour. That was basically what I drove the whole time. Three speeds. If you get into the city, it's 30 miles per hour. If you get out in the country, it's 60 miles per hour. And if you get on a freeway or some kind of road with a median in the middle splitting you from the other traffic, it's 70 miles per hour. Very simple, very easy to know what the speed is. And also, if you're in a 60 mile per hour zone and there's a whole bunch of tight turns, they don't slow the speed limit down to make you slow down. It's still 60 miles per hour. You just better pay attention and slow down as needed. So I kind of like that. It's not this up down with the speed. You know what the speed is. It's up to you to drive responsibly.